welcome to Off the Charts, another episode of Wednesday's Dan's album analysis and rating. Today, we will be talking about Krokus Metal Rendez-Vous, which was suggested by at Matthias music-71. So thank you for the suggestion. Before we start off, if you do like this type of content, please like and subscribe, tell your friends, hit the little thumbs up and a little bell, be notified when I publish new content like this. And wow. If ever you want a shout out and you want to suggest, because these episodes on Wednesdays are suggested by you, the viewer. So if there's an album you would like me to do a analysis and rating on, just write it in the comments. This actually, I just had like a revelation. It was like these Wednesday episodes near Christmas. Maybe I was getting too overwhelmed by lots of stuff in my life, and then this channel here, I almost was going to put a pause on the Wednesday ones, but then I decided not to, because these suggestions that you guys are suggesting me are actually very cool, and I'm listening to albums I wouldn't listen to in a normal, like I said, I have them, but I sometimes tend to go, you guys will suggest album B, but sometimes I tend to go and listen to album A. Like this one here, if ever I want to listen to Krokus, usually I veer to Headhunter, but this one here, Metal Rendezvous, is what was suggested. So like I said, I hardly listen to this one here. I have in the past there, but of late, not as much there. So again, this permits me to do or to revisit some albums that I myself haven't heard in a while. So keep them coming, the suggestions there. So again, this suggestion comes from at Matthias music-71. This album was came out in 1979 on Areola Records and was produced by Martin Pearson and Krokus. And I don't know what it means in the back there, but the executive producer is a $sign, so it was money. There you go. That's the back, by the way. It's a police report. Who is on the album? Well, we have Tommy Kiefer on guitar and background vocals, Chris Von Rohr on bass and background vocals, Fernando Von Arb on guitar, Mark Storas or Storaci. I'm not sure how you pronounce his last name. I heard Storaci, but all my life I've been saying Storas on vocals, and Freddie Steady on drums and background vocals. But there's also a where did I see this here? Georg Nageli on as a keyboard player on this album. Not part of the band, I guess. Is just, yeah, he's an additional or a guest musician or whatever there. So that is who is now. My first, like I said, when I told you, like, I know Headhunter by heart, like that's a great album, okay? And if I'm reading Martin Popoff's book there with the ratings, he keeps comparing them to AC/DC. This is, I didn't just realize this was a few years ago. I was like, okay, I only had Headhunter. And I was like, where is these AC/DC? Because that album doesn't sound like AC/DC at all. This, however, sounds a lot like AC/DC. So now I see where the I just had forgotten. Like I know a few. Was it Long Stick Goes Boom? That was a very AC/DC-ish song, like almost like a riff-raff, I think. But yeah, this. So when people tell me, or you hear, Airborne or Thunder Mother sound like AC/DC, no. This is much closer to sounding like AC/DC than Airborne and Thunder Mother do, in my opinion. But anyway, we're not going to talk about Airborne and Thunder Mother there. This is just about Krokus. But yeah, this one here is very AC/DC-ish, which is not a good or bad thing there. I'm just letting you know. So let's go through the songs here. So on side one, we have Heat Strokes, which is a great opener. Fun, catchy chorus. Yeah, love the song. I'm going to give that one an 8 out of 10. Next up is Bedside Radio. And again, as I'm saying this, I am singing that chorus in my head. Friggin' catchy chorus. The verses are good, but that chorus is like one of the catchiest things on the album. So that one, I'm also going to give it an 8. And also, cheers to you all. Next up, we have Come On, which is a decent song. Nothing. It's not. It's you think they're as close as song 1 and 2, but it's just one notch lower than, in my opinion, of course, than those first two songs. So for that, I'm going to give that one a 7, because that's one notch lower than 8, right? Which is what I gave song 1 and 2. So Come On gets a 7 out of 10. Next, we have Streamer, which a little kid would probably heard Screamer, because it keeps saying Streamer in the night. I'm like, what the hell's a streamer? A guy that just put streams, like, those decorations. That's his job? I don't know. But yeah, Streamer is the ballad of the album. It does not sound like AC/DC at all. There's a cool, faster riff at the end, but it lasts like 10, 20 seconds maybe. The rest of the ballad, I just don't find it. It's not that it's bad or good. It's just I don't find it that interesting of a song. So Streamer gets a 5. It's not bad. That little riff at the end, kind of, I would put it a little bit longer. But yeah, the Streamer gets a 5 out of 10 for this one. Next, we have Shy Kid, which would end side 1. Decent song. Not great, not bad, just decent. I'm going to put that one a 6 out of 10. Now, we go to side 2. This one here is actually an interesting side. So, first up on side 2, we have Tokyo Nights. Chorus is good. We actually have a reggae-ish riff, the whole song. Does it work? To a point. I still don't think it helps the song, or it doesn't destroy it either. Whatever. It is what it is. Kind of reminds me of The Rage by Judas Priest. A little bit like that type of song there. They have a little bit reggae riff in there. The Rage is much better, but Tokyo Nights gets a 5 out of 10 for me. Next up, we have Lady Double Dealer. Now, that's another friggin' catchy chorus. Good song, but very catchy chorus. That one gets what did I put here? 7. So thank God for that catchy chorus on this. Okay, now we have Fire, which is song number 3 on side 2. I thought, so when I was listening to it, I've been listening to this album the last couple of days here. The song itself was probably like a 6, okay, when I was listening to it. But then I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. There's an epic guitar solo at the end. And I'm like, just because of that epic solo, I'm boosting it to an 8. So yeah, Fire, 8 out of 10. Starts off good, but then at the end, there's just like I love solos like that. So if you like how long is the song? Does it say? Of course, I have side 2. So let's say 6 minutes. So it's 6 minutes and 2. I would actually probably bet that the end guitar solo is probably 3 minutes long. It's that good. I like it a lot there. So Fire gets an 8 out of 10. Good song, but to me, the guitar solo or the outro guitar solo gets the full marks. So yeah, 8 out of 10 for Fire just for that guitar solo. Next up, we have No Way, which it's about as good as yeah, it's not great, it's not bad. Again, according to me. But yeah, I'm gonna go back and say this is a 5 out of 10 for me. No Way, nothing special, nothing bad. Again, there's no bad songs on this. It's just some I really don't enjoy as much. So No Way gets a 5. And last song of the album and side 2 is we have Backseat Rock and Roll. This is a typical rock and roll song. It reminds me of, if I'm going to compare it to AC/DC, reminds me of A Whole Lot of Rosie. That like that type of riff there. Good way to end the album. Not even close being an original song. It's you hear that riff and you're like, oh, I've heard that riff many times. Even maybe not. Probably back then when it came out, like I said, 1979, when A Whole Lot of Rosie was what, 2-3 years before, I think 3 for sure, maybe even 4. I don't know. Maybe at that time in 1979 it wasn't as common, but yeah, 2025. I've heard that riff to death there. It's like, oh, here we go. Okay, kind of like, if you know the album Eldorado by Wasp, it's that type of song. You know, every song, minus one on Eldorado, is a Blind in Texas riff, okay? That's pretty much what it is. Blind in Texas, whole lot of Rosie type of riff. But still a good way to end the album. So I'm giving that one a 7 out of 10. Okay. And there we have it. This is, oh, by the way, I forgot to say, I'm just reading this. They're from Switzerland. I forgot at the time. Remember, one of my guitarists actually came from Switzerland. I'm like, name me a good Switzerland band. He goes, well, Krokus is probably the most popular Swiss band. Again, at the time there, I'm not sure what else came from Switzerland there, but anyway, the final rating for this album here. Again, not the one that I enjoy the most from Krokus, but it's not my least favorite, not even close. So I'm going to give this one a 6.6 out of 10. Just, again, I'm basing this off of Headhunter being that great and not sounding like AC/DC at all. And I'm like, listening to these past records, I'm like, oh my God, I see the AC/DC reference that many people, but these guys are really AC/DC, while the two bands I mentioned before, they're Thunder Mother and Airborne, they take the faster side of AC/DC and make it their own. If that makes any sense. This is just, a lot of these are just AC/DC copies or tributes, I guess, if you want to. But anyway, there you go. Krokus, Metal Rendez-Vous. Thank you for the suggestion again. Thank you for the suggestion, guys. What I like about this Wednesday is I get to listen to albums I don't usually listen to from my own mind and brain. Oh, I'm like, if I say, oh, I'm going to go and listen to this, I'm like, whatever. But if you guys suggest it, I'm like, well, now I got no choice. And that's what I like about it. I got somebody to tell me, go and listen to this album, Dan. So there you go. Thank you at Matthias music-71 for the suggestion. Once again, if you do want a shout out, you know the rules now. Just write in the comments below if there's an album you would like me to do analysis and rating on, and check my Instagram profile, which is in the description below, to see what albums. And and by the way, if you haven't heard your name yet, I'm actually getting some orders coming in within the next week or two. So a couple, I'm not saying who, but some people have been waiting for a while. So especially one, I'm not gonna say who yet there, but you'll get to see your requests soon there, hopefully. So on that note, thank you guys for watching. Leave your comments in below. Do you like this album? Don't like it? What do you think about this album? And you like guys like Krokus. I know I don't really talk about Krokus, and that's another reason why I like these Wednesday episode is it permits me to listen to albums because I haven't done a Krokus episode yet. I don't, and you know my rule. For me to do a ranking, I need to have them all. Okay, I'm probably at half right now, so it'll be a little while before I get all of the Krokus there, but we'll see. Anyway, on that note, now I'm gonna leave. Thank you guys for watching, and we shall see you guys next episode. Take care. Bye bye.